Hey everybody, welcome to this month's Patreon Q&A. Now we've got slightly different surroundings this time because...
I fucking love you.
Oh god. Yeah.
Hi folks, I'm Kim's girlfriend.
Yes, this is Sophia, my
Hello.
girlfriend. And I'm at her pad in Leatherhead, because I've barely been...
Why don't you just give this fucking street address out as well?
Oh, for God's sake, everyone knows that I go to Leatherhead. Jesus. So I'm here because I've barely been, what with going to like Holland and Blackpool and all that, I've barely been at my house to record anything, and I don't have editing software, so you're just going to get the raw, one take, unedited Q&A. But as ever, patrons had questions, and I hopefully have answers. So let's get right to it. We've got a few to go to. Right, first off, Lee Birchgarth says, "Hey Kim, in the last Q&A video you said you would like to do more or less gaming videos. Well, would you think about doing videos on Grange Hill and its influence and how original and hard-hitting it was? And would you think about doing a video on alternative comedies such as Reeves and Mortimer and Bottom with Rick Mell and Aid Edmondson?" Edmondson. Grange Hill,
Yeah, I'd say, you know, because I'm a little older than Kim, I grew up with Grange Hill when it first came on television, and I remember there were teachers at school who were really pissed about, you know, how hard-hitting Grange Hill was for that time, and I think it is worth remembering that.
It's potentially, yeah. I mean, it's quite an interesting story, Grange Hill. I mean, I only really had influence. I mean, I only really saw it much in the 90s when it was kind of a bit less hard hitting. I mean, obviously everyone knows the 80s characters like, I don't know, Zamo, Tucker, Gripper, all of that lot.
Did you? I mean, I remember the Just Say No campaign, but did you ever hear the story that when they went to meet Nancy Reagan at the White House, they all got fucking stoned?
Yeah, yeah, of course. I mean, I did do a video on the game Grange Hill for the Spectrum, which had kind of one of the most famous deaths in all of gaming in it when you say yes to taking drugs from the pusher. And I think I did mention, I mentioned the Just Say No campaign anyway because it was based on that, obviously. But yeah, Grange Hill's an interesting one. As far as alternative comedy goes, I was kind of halfway through writing a script about Rick Mell, actually, because, I mean, if you know how many, like, clips I usually have from Bottom or the Young Ones or whatever, he's clearly quite an influence on me, was a massive influence on me growing up. So...
I mean, the Young Ones. I mean, so many sketches from the Young Ones, you know, youth TV for youth.
Young adults.
Yeah. I mean, the one where I always remember is the one where people would come around and they had a video recorder, and people go, "Oh, you got a video recorder? You got a video recorder?" "Yeah, we got a video recorder." And funny enough, actually, about 10 years later, when like home computers were becoming a really big thing, you know, it was the same thing. You know, people would go, "You've got a home computer?" "Yes, I've got a home computer." Like it was something extraordinary, you know?
So yeah, I mean, I am thinking of doing that stuff about like British films, British television. So alternative comedy would definitely be a part of that at some point.
Yeah, I mean, I actually remember when Ben Elton was actually good.
Yeah, it's a long time ago, wasn't it?
Yeah, I mean, anyone want to check out Ben Elton when he was good, check out what he had to say about fast food. That routine is very, very funny.
Yeah.
You know, about McDonald's, and you know, you might as well cut out the middleman and just flush the shite down the toilet, you know. Also alternative comedy, I mean, it's not British, but you should possibly check out Bill Hicks if you haven't. Very, you know, very funny guy. Sadly died very young. American, yes, but funny enough, he was bigger here than he was in America.
He was, yeah, much bigger.
Because he pissed on the American dream, which needed to be pissed on, to be honest. I mean, there is a conspiracy theory that Alex Jones, yes, you know, the chemicals are turning the frogs gay. That Alex Jones is actually Bill Hicks reincarnated, but no, Bill Hicks, he had a heart, and Alex Jones is just a cunt.
Yeah, so thank you, Lee, for that question. Thank you very much. Andrew Dalton asks, "Hey Kim, so how's the Southend doc coming along? And again, what else do you have planned for us not linked to retro gaming?" Southend doc's coming along very well. I'm actually kind of planning a sort of prelude to that, again, kind of going on to the second part of your question, in which I want to visit the worst village in England. I want to visit Jaywick, which is very close to Clacton, and there's another quite infamous seaside place, so there's that. But
yeah, I actually have a friend who lives there.
Yeah. Yes, so that should be quite fun.
And she wants to also, she's also thinking about doing a documentary on all the hotspots for the Essex boys, you know.
Oh yeah.
The numerous fucking
Essendon.
British fucking gangster film shite, like Rise of the Foot Soldier and Essex Boys. And what was the other one? Bonded by Blood.
Yeah,
I mean,
with Tamer Hassan.
They're all fucking shite films. All about this one
bloody thing.
Yeah,
where you guys got killed in a rain.
And most of these films end up with Billy Murray starring in them.
Yeah, always.
Yeah.
Billy Murray, Craig Fairbrass,
Yeah.
Frank Bright, all that.
Billy Murray, if anyone remembers the Bill and DS Beach, the Bent Copper.
And Captain Price from Call of Duty.
Oh yeah, of course. Well, he actually helps finance all this shit.
Yeah, yeah.
And I mean, it is shit.
It is total shit, it really is. Some of it's fun, but yeah. So yeah, there's a lot. And yeah, so second documentary is going along well. Hoping to get the first video out about the Kurzel by definitely next month. Probably late next month, I'd say, if not April, depending on how shit ends up going. But yeah, no, thank you, Andrew. And it was lovely to meet you in Blackpool, by the way. Really great guy. Ian Roberts, another great guy, asks, "Hello Kim, hope Blackpool is everything it can be." It was, thank you very much. My question is, with all the companies you have done, would Codemasters be on the shortlist? What a great company with an amazing history, thank you. Well, Codemasters is definitely on the shortlist, yeah, if only because, I mean, it gets requested so much, and yeah, I mean, there's definitely good opportunities to do a Codemasters documentary. I mean, I've kind of been linking a lot more personally, especially since Blackpool, with the likes of the Oliver twins, who obviously have a big connection to Codemasters, as you can imagine. So I think it's a definite that Codemasters is going to be one of the big videos of this year, because, I mean, it is probably, now that I've done Team 17, Psygnosis and all that, I think Codemasters is the most requested video currently. So I think that is definitely on the table.
We mustn't forget that Codemasters did make LMA Manager, which, other than Championship Manager, which is now Football Manager, is probably the best football management sim.
Yeah.
It was exclusive to the PlayStation.
I've never really played much of it myself. But
I really like it. I think it was a great game.
Coolio. So yeah, that's a good one. Thank you, Ian. Geordie Alex asks, "Howdy Kim, hope you have a blast in Blackpool." Again, I did, it was brilliant, and hopefully I shall be releasing my vlog soon. Apologies for the dreadfully cliched question. If you were washed up on a desert island with a Mega Drive, including 2 controllers, and some means to power it, what 3 games would you want to have washed up ashore with you? And you're treating Streets of Rage 2 as the Bible, that's already plugged in. And there is a monkey on the island if I need a second player. Oh god, that's a tough one.
No, she wouldn't have a monkey, she'd have me.
Oh yeah, no, I'd have so. Oh.
Yeah.
Love you. I think I'd have to have Toe Jam and L for another 2-player game, because I think that, along with Streets of Rage 2, is one of the best ones. I think I'd have to have Phantasy Star 4 as just something that's really long, and, you know, I can really get into. And also, another thing that's long, I'd probably have, like, a curry game, like Romance of the Three Kingdoms 3 or something like that, because the way I see it is, if I'm going to be washed up on a desert island for a long time, I'm going to need games that, you know, are going to keep me for a while, and that game certainly would. It would keep me for months, probably, if I had nothing else. Although, if I was with my girlfriend and not a monkey, then, you know, there's probably other things we could do as well. Okay, so thank you for that. Daniel Dave Taylor asks, "Hey KJ, hope you're well. I live a short drive away from Blackpool, and I can tell you that apart from the retro games, it soon loses its charm. It was an interesting place, I tell you. It was it definitely had a time warp variety. I mean, there's places like that in Essex as well if you go to like Wickford or Thurrock, but Blackpool is also like that. The Mighty Clouts don't visit them anymore, so I visit only for family these days. Love Coral Island though, chicken nugget stuff. I don't think I went there. Anywho, my question for you is relevant to retro game, but is mainly about retail. How do you feel about the current state of retail for gaming in the UK? I love how retailers now offer lots of various products, from clothing to figures, but is it ultimately enough to save it from the digital crunch? How do I think that the Game Elite programme will fare in terms of increasing profits and again avoiding liquidation? Do I think retailers like Game and Granger Games have surrendered the retro market to CEX? Yes, they certainly have. And why is it so hard to find a good local retro shop if you don't live in a Croatia Sea? Geez, I've got lots of good questions here, Daniel. Do I think that anything that game does will be enough to save from the digital crunch? In a word, no. People just don't really go to game shops anymore. I mean, Game Station's already gone. Granger Games, I don't know, have you ever seen a Granger Games?
No.
No, I haven't. There's never been any around me. I guess it's more of like a Midlands, Northern type thing. I don't know.
I mean, around here it's CEX and Game.
Yeah, like CEX always just seems to be a big thing, and obviously CEX now has its retro games as well. I mean, I'm kind of fortunate in terms of retro shops where I live in that I've got 2 near me. I've got Beso in Southend, and obviously I've got the Retro Hunter as well. So I'm really quite lucky in that regard.
I would imagine that you're going to have shops where there's an actual scene, and I mean, as well as Kim, there's in Essex, there's DJ Slopes and Guru Larry and
there's a whole bunch
Top
of people
Hat Gamer,
yeah.
A well-known YouTubers.
If not from Essex, then they're kind of close by.
Yeah, and I personally, my take on the digital crunch is, for me, I mean, Kim knows this, I live in a very small flat, and I don't have the space to collect loads of games. So I have a different take on it. I know that some people think it's sad that the old-fashioned retail is fizzling out. But, the game industry is probably going the same way as the music industry and the video industry.
And they'll probably always be in for like best-selling, like limited edition type copies, same as like vinyl is kind of now. But I just don't see it, just to kind of sum it up. So thank you for that. And you say, share a good hot chocolate and custard cream. Have a great time, best wishes. Thank you, Daniel. Right, I've got to rush, otherwise this will loop. Casey Earnshaw asks, so I'm getting back into my Amiga in a big way. However, I'm incredibly rusty with a joystick. Could you recommend something more forgiving to play? Some football management games, perhaps, Casey. Something like Premier Manager 3. Ultimate Soccer Manager is one of my favourites.
Yes.
But,
I'd definitely recommend Ultimate Soccer Manager.
In case you're not into football, something more simple like Theme Park, mouse and keyboard maybe, or a more easygoing platformer. How about Premier? That's not an easygoing one. That's not as fast-paced and hard as something like Zool or James Pond or whatever. There's a lot of good games like that. And finally, Lee Birchgarth asks, Dear Kim, I know you're a wrestling fan, so how do you feel about 5-star wrestling on Free Sports? 5-star wrestling, I've only seen a bit of it. I know they did a big, like, 10,000 seat show recently, which there was a lot of black covers around. They didn't really sell out that much. They're ambitious with the product, whether it'll actually get anywhere, I don't know. But I mean, obviously there's a lot of good stuff happening in the UK scene at the moment with guys like Progress, ICW, and all that lot. Will 5-star wrestling kind of get on there? Obviously they want to, and obviously I guess they've got a lot of money going for them. But I really think they need to find out really how big their actual demand is for them, because doing more 10,000 seater shows where half the arena is tarped off isn't going to be good for business. And I do believe that is it for this one. So,
what's
your opinion on wrestling?
I remember the days of Giant Haystacks and Big Daddy.
Yeah.
I remember British wrestling on World of Sport.
A long time ago.
Yeah. I've never really been into the American wrestling, personally. Anyways, before we go, I just want to say I love Kim. And Parasleaze is a narcissistic cunt. And Blair White, you're true scum.
Okay. And on that bombshell, I'd like to thank you all for contributing your questions for this month's Patreon Q&A. And unfortunately, I'm not going to have the proper credits because I don't even have any editing software. So I'm not going to be able to edit this. So I will say, as ever, wherever you are, whoever you be, have a good one. Take care. And I'll see you next time. Oh, and if you want to be on these Patreon Q&As, don't forget to look at my Patreon, which will be in the description of this video, hopefully, if I can get all that to work. Anyway, love you all lots. See you later. Bye. Bye, say bye.
Bye.
Bye. Bye. Skip. One take.